I am presenting here a series of 14 chapters from my audiobook titled Ancient Sages of India. This is the 12th one in the series, which is Veda Vyasa. Chapter 11, Veda Vyasa.
One of the important sages of ancient India is sage Veda Vyasa. He is the son of sage Parashara, the grandson of sage Shakti, and the great grandson of sage Vasishtha. He is the father of sage Shuka. Sage Shuka became a great sage in his own way and made sage Vyasa still more famous. Literally, Vyasa means one who compiles, elaborates, explains, describes, or arranges. Usually, we find the word Vyasakarta in the literary world, which means one who has authored or scripted an article on a topic. In terms of Vedic and divine literature, Vyasa is well known as the one who has classified the Vedas, compiled the great epic Mahabharata, and authored the Brahma Sutras. He is considered to be the first historian of the human race. He is a genius by birth and performed rigorous penance and austerities to realize the supreme truth. He is also said to be an incarnation of Lord Vishnu. There is a legend about the birth of Vyasa. It is said that one day sage Parashara was trying to cross the river Yamuna. He found one boat, but there was no boatman. Instead, there was a beautiful young girl in the boat, and she was driving the boat. She offered her respects to the sage and volunteered to take him across the river. It was a wide river and there was an island in between. When the boat reached this island, a desire arose in the mind of the sage, and Vyasa was born instantaneously in that island as a result of the union of sage Parashara and this young woman by name Satyavati in charge of the boat. Vyasa got the full knowledge of the Vedas and other Shastras in a short period of time. He classified the primordial single Veda into 4 sections called Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, and Atharvana Veda. He also divided each Veda into 4 sections, namely hymns known as mantras, rituals known as brahmanas, modes of worship known as aranyakas, and the philosophic revelations known as the Upanishads. Hence, he was called Veda Vyasa. He was also dark in complexion. In view of his dark complexion, and because he was born in a riverine island, Vyasa is also known as Krishna Dvaipayana. Sage Vyasa is the author of the famous Mahabharata. There is an interesting anecdote relating to the writing of the Mahabharata. One day, sage Vyasa was meditating in the Himalayas. Lord Brahma appeared before him and asked him to write the Mahabharata for the benefit of humanity. Vyasa said, "O Lord, I cannot compose the verse and write it down too. Therefore, I need the assistance of someone wise who can write down the verses as I tell them." Brahma said, "Ask Lord Ganesha for help. He will be the best person for this wondrous task." Vyasa approached Ganesha and asked him, "Ganeshji, Lord Brahma has directed me to compose Mahabharata for the welfare of humanity. Doing the job of composing as well as writing is rather difficult for me. Will you assist me in writing down the verses as and when I compose them and tell you?" Ganesha replied, "Respected sage, I agree, but I have a lot of other things to do. I can't waste my time. Therefore, I will put a condition. Once I start writing, I will not stop. And you should be quick enough to tell the verses to the speed of my writing. Vyasa agreed, though this was a challenging condition. For his turn, sage Vyasa put a counter condition. He said to Ganesha that he should understand the meaning of the verse and only then put it down in writing. In this way, Ganesha and Vyasa challenged each other. Vyasa started reciting the verses of the Mahabharata. Whenever he felt that Ganesha was writing too fast for him, he would come up with a difficult verse. Thus, by the time Ganesha could decipher the meaning, he would have composed several more verses in his mind. The process of writing Mahabharata was going on like this. In those days, people wrote on palm leaves with a thick stylus. It so happened that halfway through the process of the composition of the Mahabharata, Ganesha's stylus broke. It was a challenge for Ganesha. To overcome this and to continue writing without break, Ganesha quickly broke off one of his tusks and used it as a stylus. In this way, Vyasa completed the Mahabharata. Since he has broken one of his tusks, Ganesha was left with only one tusk and is therefore called as Ekadanta. In addition to Mahabharata, sage Vyasa wrote all the Puranas consisting of 18 main and 18 Upapuranas and the Brahma Sutras highlighting the essence of the Upanishads. He also played an important role in the Mahabharata war. When the war was going on in Kurukshetra, Dhritarashtra, being born blind, was anxious to know what was happening in the battlefield. At that time, sage Vyasa visited him. In response to Dhritarashtra's request, Vyasa gave a special power to Dhritarashtra's charioteer, Sanjaya. This enabled Sanjaya to see, hear and remember what was going on at the battlefield, though being physically present at Hastinapura. Sanjaya was thus able to give to Dhritarashtra a live account of what was happening in the battlefield at Kurukshetra. The Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra, which forms a part of the epic Mahabharata, describes Vyasa in a befitting manner. Veda Vyasa is the presiding sage for Vishnu Sahasranama Stotra. In the preliminary portion of this stotra, we say,
Vyasam vasishtanaptaram shakte pautramakalmasham parasharatmajam vande shukatatam taponidhim Vyasaya Vishnurupaya Vyasa-Rupaya Vishnave Namo Vai Brahmanidhaye Vasisthaya Namo Namaha.
It means, salutations to that Vyasa who is free from all defects, who is a treasure of austerities, who is the great grandson of sage Vasishtha, the grandson of Shakti, son of Parashara, and father of Shuka. My salutations to that great Vyasa, who is a form of Lord Vishnu, and to Vishnu, who is a form of Vyasa, who is a descendant of sage Vasishtha, who is a treasure of the Almighty Brahman. Srimad Bhagavad Gita is well known as the philosophical treatise of Hinduism. Being a part of the Mahabharata, it is composed by sage Vyasa. In chapter 10 of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, "Of the descendants of Vrishni, I am Vasudeva, and of the Pandavas, I am Arjuna. of the sages, I am Vyasa, and among great thinkers, I am Ushana. This is how Sri Krishna praises sage Vyasa in Srimad Bhagavad Gita.
Vrishninam vasudevosmi Pandavanam Dhananjaya Muninam api aham Vyasaha Kavinam Ushana Kavihi.
Gita Dhyanam, meditation on the Gita, is a Sanskrit poem with 9 verses, which is usually sung before the beginning of Bhagavad Gita reading. The first 2 verses of this Dhyana slokas salute sage Vyasa like this.
Om Parthaya Pradibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Yatena Graditam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitam Radavarshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Manusandadhami Bhagavate Gite Bhavatveshinim Namostute Vyasa Vishara Buddhe Pullara Vindaya Tapatra Netra Yenatvaya Bharatataila Purna Prajvalito Jnanamaya Pradipa.
The meaning of this is Bhagavad Gita taught to Arjuna by Lord Narayana himself, written in the middle of the Mahabharata by the old sage Vyasa. Salutations to that Vyasa, one with a great intellect, with eyes like the fully blossomed lotus, through whom the lamp of light is filled with the oil of knowledge. This is the greatness of Veda Vyasa, one of the great sages of Hinduism.
The links for the book as well as the audiobook are given in the description part of this presentation.